Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Roll Hit Die presents TORG Eternity, our first game in the Blood on the Blasted Lands saga. It's a beta tier, so we're going to have a fun time trying to stay alive. I'm Dan Latham, also known as Shadow Dagar in most social medias, and I'm going to hand it on over to our game master for tonight, Lehman.
Yes, hello everybody. I am Lehman Crafton, aka Zorvalachan Less Than Guru, and I wrote about a third of this adventure, Blood on the Blasted Lands. So this should be very entertaining.
All right, so let's go ahead and introduce our players. We'll start at the top. Well, if you're looking at the screen, top left-hand corner. That'll be, was it Ray? Robert?
Oh, hi, Robert Maxwell. I'm going to be playing Alex Tremaine.
All right, you already know me. I'm going to be playing a Cyberpap C gentleman by the name of Lucusus. So I will be butchering a French accent, so please don't hold it against me. Next after me, we'll have Mike. You're muted, Mike.
I am
Mike.
muted, so I should put that under. Yeah, there we go. I'll be playing a transformed human from transformed to Thargold, Borya Olgev Bakov, who has a mighty cyber punch. So with my bad Russian accent, we get double the accents.
All right, so following Mike, we have Jim.
I will be playing Electo, who is a Keefe, which is very similar to a very small character that is from the land below. So most people in Torg don't believe the land below exists, but Electo is always trying to convince them that it does, but nobody believes him because he just looks like a human child.
And last but not least, we have Michael John.
I'm playing the Mountain, who's here to make sure that everyone else stays safe. No one gets hurt. And that's going to be really difficult here, but he's going to try his best.
And Rod is not with us this evening, but he'll be our other player. Does anybody remember who Rod is playing? I know it's a swashbuckler, some sort of pirate.
He's playing Captain Keen.
And I'm sure he'll be back with us next Wednesday. So without further ado, I think I'll hand this on over to the gentleman of the hour.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started, kind of jump right in. You, as Storm Knights, being beta tier, have made a name for yourselves, and you weren't quite sure what to expect when you were called in to Berlin. So we're talking not Russia, not Tharkold at all, but you're called into the Delphi Council's regional headquarters, and you kind of get the feeling as people are hustling and bustling about and usher you through the building, and that there's something important that seems to be happening. And you are directed into a situational room, and unlike many of the adventures, it is not Quinn Sebastian who is there to give you the briefing. It is actually the deputy director, Michael Grubber. And now you can hear me talk in my bad German accent because it's been a long time since I've done this, and I tend to devolve into a weird French type German accent. But he brings you into the room, and he has you all sit down around a big board table, and he has a big projector, and up on the wall, the projector turns on, and you see a photo on the wall of a muscular black man wearing a hunting vest and a brown Stetson hat. And Grubber looks at you and then points to the photo, and he says, "This is Saber. He and his team, which called themselves Saber Company, went missing 5 days ago in Tarkul. He was traveling with 4 other Alpha clearance operatives. Lyriand, an Irish visit, Miss Quincy, a detective from Orochi, Katsuku, an expert pilot from Pan Pacifica, Ileka, one of these Aidinos who turned against Ka, and of course, there's Saber himself, who we are proud to say comes from Core Earth. Sadly, losing Storm Knights is nothing new, but Saber had sent us a message that they had learned of something in the demonic place that was so urgent that they needed immediately to extract. For their own safety, they could offer no details, only that they need a rendezvous just across border near Russian city of Perm. We scrambled a support team, but then they never showed. Nobody knows their current whereabouts. We can't afford to lose whatever intel they turned up. One of our council contacts is psychic Uliana, a former member of the Russian Psychic Research Institute, currently operating out of Volkinsk in the Volga district, not far from the edge of Tarkov border. She's helped before. We need you to go to her and see if she can help you find this missing team. This your next priority, and let me be crystal clear here, is getting the intel. If Saber team is alive and you can get them out, good, but they are second to information. Do you have questions?
Hey, what about the support team? Did they come out too or no?
You are support team.
Oh, I confessed. Okay.
I
believe he
called
was.
you to support, but then we lost contact. So now you are to find out what happened.
Nothing like going in blind.
I
Boria, Oleana, is that not the woman we helped out before?
Don't know. I do not think so. I think
No.
you're thinking of somebody else.
C'est la vie.
Or I could be wrong. I don't know. Do we have transportation?
Yeah, I have got you flight to Perm. There you will meet our contact first in Perm near the border, Denise Zakharov.
She will take us to the psychic.
He will tell you how you can get to the city.
It sounds good. We have pilot.
Yes, pilot will be provided.
So we're basically going to be dropped off, and then we have to figure out how to find these people and the intel and just get out.
Intel first, people second.
Second.
You worry about the intel, I'll worry about the people.
Okay. Sound like plan. He's good. I cannot think of anything to ask.
Do you want us to requisition here or like upon landing?
You can requisition here. I know a couple of you have already bought cold weather gear because it is winter time, and
And we
you are
can
going to Russia.
and we can get a Tharkol survival kit.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to try to requisition the scarab of Emotep that I have previously found in adventures. If they would lend it to us, obviously going into Tharkold, it might be useful. But
I would like to assist him on requisitioning that.
Alex will assist by not helping.
Well,
I have not actually.
I am terrible. I am not a charismatic individual, but maybe if I can give you at least some sort of boost.
Yeah,
And
which
I'm not sure. It's okay to try to requisition it. I'm just not sure where that might be
he might
listed.
or might have not have it listed in the Roll20. If not, we can get it in there. It's mostly going to, if I can get it, it's a DC 16, I think, to get it. No, it's
Okay.
on. It's an
Yeah.
18 for me because I played both mods that can get it, and so it may not even come up because I'm not that good at it. But it's mostly gives us. It has some possibilities because it is an Eternity Shard, but it's also
Mhm.
puts us under the rule of glory, so that we can also go hunt for a glory card if we need to.
Oh, okay.
It has a
one of the
lot
things.
of possibilities, but you can only use them in like
Sunlight.
In this,
one out of 5 instances, just because you have to be outside and it has to be daytime,
yeah.
All right,
or you have to be under the sun. So if it's cloudy, even then you can't use it. Like if it's storming.
Yeah, a lot of the Eternity Shards have
A lot
very
of them have
strict.
really big restrictions, but that one has super big restrictions because it has 12, or it has like 10.
Wow.
And snapping difficulty is 12. It's pretty cool.
There you go. I put it in the
Okay.
in the chat so you can actually see what it is.
I see it.
Do we have cards already at this point, or no?
It doesn't look like it.
I think so. Let me get those decks out.
So, I'll go ahead and roll a persuasion to see if I either help or hinder the Kinder.
I think you don't have to roll if you played the mod. I think you just give me the bonus. But
For Eternity Shards, if you've played the mod, you shouldn't have to roll. Or that's on my
Okay.
dad. That's on my father's run. I don't know if I live in. I mean, if he wants to make it harder.
do you want us to just go ahead and draw them ourselves?
I just
Oh, no, you just told them. Check.
threw them all out there. I need to give you your divider card.
All right. We were considered in Core Earth currently.
Yes, you are in Core Earth, and
Okay.
you will be traveling to Core Earth in Russia first, and then you will be
You're
making.
gonna want that card, because I'm not really gonna be able to play it where we're going.
True.
You should be able to.
Yeah, I will find an appropriate card for you.
So I will spend some of my hard-earned money. Go ahead and buy some hands-free comms.
All right. So Dan, you were the only one that's played that mod, right?
No, Borya played it as well, I believe. Didn't
That
you,
is
Mike?
correct.
Okay. So then I will take a +2 to this, and hope for a really good roll. That's a really good roll, actually. Because I think we really
Alrighty.
want this, so I am going to spend one of my hero cards.
I do have a supporter.
Okay, well, I need a little more than the supporter at this point, but
I would play the supporter, but I haven't played the mod.
right. So you'd be like, yeah, give him that thing.
Yeah, give the kid the rock, the pretty rock.
I already have
Sweet. All right, so yes, that would requisition it.
Okay, so you are able to requisition the scarab.
And let's see.
Amenhotep scarab.
Yeah, and we can remind Rod because I know he has it somewhere in Roll20, so he could possibly push it over
Right.
to you. So
Yeah,
you can
I
see.
just pulled the text out of the vault and just shared it.
Yeah.
Okay. That works. So, anybody else wanted to requisition anything?
How are we on communications? Everybody got communications? I got the hands-free comms.
I yell really loud. That's my communications.
Does not work too well if we're trying to be sneaky. Just saying.
I mean,
Oh.
it works, it works.
Well, in the land below, there's things just don't survive long, so I don't have any of those things.
Borgia has an extra hands-free comms if we need it.
Okay, I have mine, you have yours, if we have to split for any reason. And there goes me slipping into yours.
It wasn't long, 15
One.
minutes.
That was one, yes. It's good.
It's very good. Alright. I don't see that I need to requisition anything else other than what I have. Anybody else?
Just getting a Thurkol survival kit. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see where it's at over in the files?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess we shall, what's they say, hit the road?
In this case, I think they mean sky. He's on plane.
Then tarmac.
I've heard those
So
are really
you,
hard.
you load up in the plane, and what's seemingly uneventfully, you make it to Perm, a city that is pretty close to the Darkhold border. It's just probably about 50 miles give and take, because borders tend to shift a little bit. They're not precise locations. And you meet up very easily, are able to find your Delphi operative contact there, Denise Zakharov.
While we were in the air, Alex was going to pray so he could do a prophecy.
Okay.
Yep. At least his baseline. So I'm good with that.
Okay. I gotta.
You prayed and did
Wait,
not even
actually,
jack
no, I
in?
do need to increase it. Sorry.
I think he's praying because we are flying towards Starcold. You know what I
In,
playing
mean?
in
an
a lot
action
of my
card.
games, people have bought parachutes.
I did go in and spin the action card so I could get it up to standard. So
I was going to say, I've been to Tharkod so many times.
What book is the prophecy, or could you just read it? Or
on a standard success during the next dramatic scene, immediately after a drama card is flipped, the priest may choose to make the standard conflict line in effect for the round instead of the dramatic.
okay. So that's just kind of it's not a thing that I think about right now. It just
No.
comes up later. Okay.
Yeah, comes up sometime
That
or in the
makes it
first
easy.
dramatic scene of this act.
Okay. I will make a note of that, so I will remember.
Okay.
I still do things pen and paper on a lot of things.
So you are saying you are some kind of Luddite?
Yes, I am. Like, I have my physical books here. I have them on my screen also, but sometimes I just flip it easier, even with the, Control F search function, sometimes how my mind operates. But okay, so you meet up with Denis Zakharov. He is kind of your typical cynical Russian who just accepts things as they are, has pretty much lost any hope, tells things kind of just as they are. And he actually, being from Russia, has a little more intel about Saber's company, because a lot of times the Russia is that weird thing where their president is like publicly core Earth and working with the Delphi Council, but at the same time, Thark holds, the almost the entire western half of Russia, so it's kind of split. There's tons and tons of normal red tape that you have to go through. I mean, going there now without a possibility war, even pre-pandemic, was horrible red tape, and it's just that type of thing. So a lot of information doesn't get out. So he was able to kind of give you a little bit more information, and basically tells you that Saber Company was originally sent, like their primary mission was to establish a Delphi safe house either in or near the city of Nizhny Novgorod. And Nizhny Novgorod is a city that's actually very far west from where you are. It's east of Moscow, maybe a six-hour trip by car or bus from Moscow, but it's a pretty big city. It's like their fifth largest city. A problem is when the nuke went off in Moscow, about half of the city fell under that blasted land zone of radiation. But it's unknown if Saber Company actually established that goal. Basically, they apparently found some information and were trying to extract it. They were having to go east instead of being able to go west. More the three-way civil war currently is happening in the west, so they wanted to get to Perm and then kind of fly the opposite way that you flew in. But something happened, and he wants to say that they had, even though they're alpha level clearance, they were veterans. They weren't new alphas. They were veterans around the European theater and had pretty much done quite a few missions for the Delphi Council. And basically, you have to figure out how you're going to get into Tharkol that is controlled. This area nearby Perm is currently controlled by Thrachin. So basically, when people normally go in by foot, they, if they're seen by Thrachin's forces, it usually ends up in a bloody mess. So Denise, basically, he tells you that you have kind of three options that he's thought about. You can, A, go by foot. The river that needs to be crossed, it's Russia, it's winter, it's frozen. You should be able to walk across it and hope that you don't encounter patrols or other hazards. You can go through an empty oil pipeline that crosses the river and goes through the border. It has been explored in the past, and when it was last explored a few months ago, it was empty. But who knows what happened since then? And the third option is they could get you on a small plane and you could parachute out over Tharkold and land in Tharkold that way.
These all sound like such wonderful ways of getting there. Says the 17.
You have options. When I was young, we had no options.
So many different ways to die. I mean, to get there.
I mean, I would rather not go through an oil pipe because it's Darkhold. There's definitely something living in that oil pipe now. If the last time they checked it was a couple months ago,
Yes.
something's probably moved in.
We had no problem flying in on plane. Let's fly there on plane and parachute.
I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah,
heavy.
I just don't know if I'm comfortable jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, personally.
I've never parachuted.
I hear it's not
it's
the fall
easy.
that kills you. It's the sudden stop at the end.
Yes.
It's usually how falling works.
Is better than walking in cold. Trust me, I know.
Well, I can believe you on that.
Yes, but walking in cold, at least you can try to survive. Falling from plane, you don't survive.
Oh, you have parachute. It's fine.
He'll parachute rip, get shot.
Oh no,
fall
I am
off.
sure this is finest Russian parachutes. It's fine.
Yeah, this is Russian silk.
Exactly. It's where silk was invented, right?
No.
Come on, Denise. You know.
So I guess we jumping.
Yeah, plane or foot. 'Cause I think we're all agreeing the
Unfortunately,
oil
it
pipeline.
sounds like people want to jump out of a plane.
Well, you said like you was all for it.
Do they have a parachute in my size?
Of course, they have child size.
We just tie ropes
Why wouldn't they
around.
have a child-sized parachute?
We just cinch up the Velcro.
Children go parachuting in
Pull
Russia.
tight.
Now, aren't we still supposed to meet a psychic here before we start going out parachuting?
I believe she is on the other side.
Oh, she is. She's not here.
I
Oh,
don't.
shoot.
If I remember,
No.
if I remember correctly,
You're
I don't
currently
think.
in Perm, and the psychic you're meeting is in the town of Vot. It would be Votkinsk. Votkinsk, and that is about 100 miles southwest of Perm, inside the Tharkold border.
If I remember correctly, she's not a Storm Knight. She's a regular Tharkolden, wasn't she?
She was a former member of the Russian Psychic Research Institute. So that's pretty much, and she's worked with the Delphi Council before. That's about what you have on her.
I just say it's better to fly than walk because it's a long walk.
How close is parachuting going to get us to our destination?
Well,
Oh,
you'll be the
right on
first to
top.
arrive to your grave if it fails.
The
You'll
the
get there
parachute,
at
they would
least-
parachute you right outside of the city. So once you hit the ground, you could go into the city pretty fast.
You'll beat
Pretty
the
easy.
ambulance there by at least half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
people don't pull over for ambulances in Russia.
They have ambulances in Tharkold?
Yeah, they want
Probably
to,
certain places.
Yeah,
Wagons.
in the end,
They
they
just-
probably they would just want to harvest your organs. So it's not really an ambulance so much as a harvesting truck.
I just figured it like a red van with a little demon on top going, wee. So,
So I guess we're parachuting.
or parachuting. Everyone agreement there?
Well, I can't say I agree, but it sounds like that's what people want to do. So
Hey, just don't roll a natural one to pull the chute.
yeah, nothing like disconnecting
He's-
mid-drop.
That is why we have second chance card, yes?
Yeah.
yeah, no.
I mean, I
a
have
second
heard
chance
some horror
character.
stories about Roll20 this last week, so let's hope we do all right.
So he gets together a aircraft and a pilot to take you across. It is a Cessna and supplies you with parachutes.
Which I will
They
definitely
do
be
have a
checking this
smaller
sucker out.
parachute, so that hopefully will help.
Or the mountain just puts the Keefe in a baby harness. It'll be fine. Just don't slip out.
Oh, how sweet.
You know, maybe that's what the mountain does. He just puts the Keefe in a little baby harness and carries him into combat.
Sure. I'd strap myself to your back if you're gonna go parachuting, just because I'll try to land on top of you at the worst.
Yeah.
Just hopefully it doesn't happen the other way. That's the mishap, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I only have damage. If I land on you, I'll have it. I'll have it again.
Yeah, what's half of fall damage from several hundred thousand feet in the air?
A
More
lot.
than one.
Enough to
Like
Well,
a lot.
they are gonna fly somewhat low. So
Okay.
Well, in
trying
case there's
to-
any need to, Lucusus is thoroughly checking out his parachute to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary is wrong with it.
Alex will ask, Lucullus, would you please check this to make sure it works? I have no idea what I'm looking at.
It just looks like a big old backpack with metal handles on it. You want any kind of roll for that, or are we just going to let that roll?
if you want to roll, give me a mind plus land vehicles.
Okay.
Because you're more examining it, and
Oh, you
apparently
said mind.
parachutes are land, or it's not land vehicles, air vehicles.
Oh yeah, I ain't got that. I'll just do a mind. Because I have no ads in anything else.
wow.
Wow.
Did it
There you
roll?
go.
Yeah, it rolled. Okay.
They actually look sturdy. Might be a little surprised.
Wait, this looks fine. You should be okay as long as you pull it at the right time.
Just don't die.
Of course, I hear if you get too low and pull, it's still just as bad as falling.
Just remember, duck and roll.
Duck and roll. Okay.
Duck and roll. Okay, noted.
Duck and roll.
I actually watched this movie the other day, and apparently parachuting is really dangerous. It's called Deadpool 2.
And
So-
this is where the in-flight movie is airplane crashes.
So
Yeah,
I'm
so-
gonna just
It's a little windy out today. Why?
Make sure I steer away from the wood chippers and the power lines.
Yeah. Oh look,
I rolled
there's a helicopter.
20 kind of.
Yeah, it looked like it did a weird thing, but it looks like it's catching up.
I wonder what.
Of all
Yeah.
things, we literally have a cable picture up there after you mentioned Deadpool 2.
hmm
Huh,
It isn't actually a token, but yeah, it comes out of a square.
that is weird. Have a token on the other page that I could.
I can try to make a token.
No, I have a token here for you. There, it might not have connected.
Yeah, I think I changed the picture
Okay.
a couple of weeks ago, and for whatever reason, it's just like, yep, we're gonna do that.
Try that now.
Okay.
Did that work?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So I just put you there randomly. So who wishes to jump first?
The mountain will go ahead and he'll jump first.
Okay. So I'm just gonna move you off. Basically, the pilot. You actually kind of get it, the border between Core Earth and Tharkold was not very flared up at this time. So you kind of went through. You felt a strange tingling sensation. you did, being Storm Knights, you do fully realize you're in a different reality, and I'll actually
Now we get those very, very
get
awful
those cards.
Yeah. Electo will quickly jump after the mountain, giving him enough time to actually get out of the plane, but I'll follow behind him pretty quickly.
Okay.
Especially since he said, he'd protect me when I hit the ground.
Alex will go after Electo.
Don't forget your shoot.
Oh no, the shoot's on.
So I would like to give this to the group real quick because it's play as you draw it.
Oh, I wouldn't like to give this to the group, but it's going to happen to the group.
Oh,
Well, I was trying to put it on a nice little,
we all get one, but it screws us up.
Okay. So the torturous visions play immediately when drawn. The party experiences psychic flashes of grim potential futures.
Oh, jeez
For the
Louise.
rest of the act, if fatigue appears on the conflict line, the characters are also stymied, and psionicists are very stymied. Oh wow, there's a ton of stuff
Wow.
going on. Okay.
All right.
So,
It's
So,
total rip.
so Liaman, let me ask this while you're going through those torturous visions, because that doesn't look very good for me. So if I negate the line for us with my leadership abilities, is that also going to negate the Cosm card?
yeah, I would rule yes, basically, because it's saying if fatigue appears, so if you make it so that fatigue doesn't appear, then I would say that it's not gonna, it'll be a good thing for you.
Okay.
Okay, so the only person that's going to be affected, well, I don't know what the mountain has on him. For my
I
card,
do not have any occult tech.
Okay, so it's going to be Boria only, huh?
Yep.
And we have two of the exact same card.
We do? Yeah,
Yeah,
Every
but-
Dark will do attack.
Actually, since the new cards came out, I have gotten both of those cards every single time. It's like, oh, it would suck if someone rolls a 1 while casting at the strong.
Well, apparently I'm getting a ton of possibility points here between the torturous visions and cyberpsychosis
So
because I am
So
both
the
a psychic.
Tharkold, that one could happen twice. That is specifically with spell casting.
Yeah.
Gain no
They don't
possibility
like
until
sharing the
afterwards.
magic.
So I'll move those over here. And then this one here, immediately play when drawn. Player characters with occult tech suffer 2 shock every time a dilemma appears on the drama card for the remainder of the act.
That'd be Boria.
And Alex is also hit by the torturous visions.
And you had said prior, when we gain possibilities from Cosm cards, those were Tharkold Cosms. Right?
Those are going to be the Tharkold, yes. So
Okay.
the cyberpsychosis, you get hit by 2, and this doesn't say after it's like, you have to be affected, so you gain 2 possibilities right off the bat. So, but I'll put that over here to remind me that when a dilemma appears on the drama deck, that might happen. And then torturous visions. So, kind of as you're going through this light reality storm on the border between Core Earth and Tharkold, you don't really there's not a lot of the weird stuff like physically going on. You're not seeing yourself as both a Core Earth version and a Tharkold version, or weird things physically happening, but in your mind, you start getting these flashes, and a couple of the flashes, a lot of them go really fast, and you can't quite catch what's going on. Besides, you have this overwhelming kind of pain in your head of terror and fear, but your brain just kind of wants to shut down what it's seeing, so you're not remembering what you see. But a couple of things that you do remember, you kind of get a vision of a man tied to the front of some type of truck, and you also get a vision of this disembodied head, which is kind of are the ones that kind of stick with you. Some things that might be in your possible future.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Your dad's not here to trigger.
No, but I figured I'd say it for him because he would have said the same thing.
Okay, so everybody does get one possibility for that. Psionics get two, correct?
Yep.
Oh, if you have the psionics
Yes.
first, okay. We gain none from the others yet.
Does that mean that if you had the wild talent perk, you wouldn't take the two possibilities? You'd still only take one?
Well, it does say if you have the psionics perk, so specifies.
Yeah, it sounds pretty specific.
Mhm.
Oh, great! I mean, it's fun. We jump out of the airplane and then we all,
Die.
we deal with all the rest of the stuff that comes up.
You mean welcome to Tharkold?
Yeah, welcome to
I keep my
Thargold.
Cosmo card, so I'm.
So the mountain and Electo jump out pretty soon after, and Alex is kind of, holding on, getting ready to jump out, and
loudly saying
From-
his Hail Marys.
and the plane is doing the thing is like the pilot is getting close to the city, and he starts to turn to go back and is like, now jump, and you start jumping, and as he turns back from there's in this area of Russia, there's cities, and then once you leave the city, it very distinctly becomes rural and trees and snow and everything. And out from this snowy forest, just right out from under the tree canopy out into the air, is a Digon specter.
Well, if Alex is blocking the door, I'm going to shove him on out and tie that after him.
Then Alex gets pushed out of the plane.
After you, Lucullus. I will.
Lucullus didn't even wait. After he pushed Alex out, he dove out
Okay.
after. I think I've seen one of these
He's-
before.
It's time for Spoot and I grab Spoot and head out. Jump.
Get these to the right layer. There we go. So what I tend to do, currently you are in a Tharkold dominant zone. And normally if you're in dominant or pure zone, I'll use that drama deck. If you're in a mixed zone, I'll use the base drama deck. So we're going to switch. I can drop out this Tharkold Cosm card, and then I can
There's that one Tharkold drama card
Tharkold
that's
drama deck.
just
There we go.
terrible. There's nothing you can do about it.
Not that any
Since
of us
we,
were really doing anything about cards anyway.
No, but that one is like, oh, you
Shuffling the
have
deck.
That's unfortunate. Anyway,
And then let's just it's kind of faded for me. Is everybody else seeing it on the okay, that's why I'm on the wrong
You
layer.
might be on the DM's layer.
Yeah, that's what I was like, there we go. So it's just a standard scene. The villains will go first unless somebody does something, and any character who deals more than 20 damage may make a free intimidation attack against anyone who saw the attack.
Liam and I am going to be very vulnerable to get rid of that setback for us.
Okay.
I don't like us having setbacks, especially
So-
while falling from a plane.
Might not be the best time to have one of those.
No.
That ground's coming up awfully fast.
And I want to see if, because I know Rod does this a little bit different with his tokens. I want to see if there is any. Yeah, he has these as drag and drop, so very vulnerable.
It is. I think.
Or
Yeah, it is
vulnerable.
I think it is very.
Is it
vulnerable.
very?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also just drag them and put them up at the top, and then copy and paste them.
Okay. So we have so far out of the plane, the mountain and Electo, and I know everybody else was getting really close to pushing people or trying to jump out themselves.
Yeah, Locutus was pushing Alex out. So
Yeah. 'Cause I'm not going to be in this plane when this thing comes up here.
So I got the
What exactly does
Digon
the
Spectre.
yeah? What exactly does the Digon Spectre look like?
It kind of looks like this UFO thing, except for it's much bigger than the Digon bogey that you might have encountered or seen before in Darkhold. Those are kind of like remotely controlled, and this one actually has a pilot in it.
Oh, okay.
So this one is going to try to take a shot at the mountain, who is the larger target.
Oh no. That's not very cool.
Well, defend is allowed.
You know what? Yeah, I'll defend.
This is approved.
I don't think I'm gonna get my shield bonus on this because I'm definitely not holding a shield while I'm moving out of the plane. But hey, I get a +1. It's not too bad.
And as a reminder, the italics means that your attacks will have a -2. It is large, which would normally give it a +2, but it is very fast, which gives it a -4. So it balances to become a -2.
It doesn't help that we're literally falling from the sky.
Right.
We had toughness on that sucker.
So
Yeah,
is that
20
22 hit your dodge?
at 22. Currently will be an outstanding because I didn't roll very well on my dodge.
Excuse me.
Standing, and then what is your toughness?
19.
So it's only going to be 2 shock.
That's fortunate. Oh, I thought it was the pulverizer. I was like, this is really gonna hurt. But it'll also be bad if I pass out before I hit the ground.
Well,
Then you might not be
Hitting
pulling
the
a string if you pass out in the middle of the air.
Yeah, then I'm really hitting the ground.
So let me get a turn order here.
who is our ranged individual? I guess somebody uses range.
That was the captain, or is the captain when Rod.
Alex also.
I was gonna say perfect timing for all the melee guys to be jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah, how far away is this from us?
I would say right now it is about 100 meters closing in.
All right. Let's see.
And I use the little the turn once. I try to remember once people. They have a complete. I guess that will work. I usually have the little turn signal, but it looks like somebody has that complete in there. So I'll just move everybody above that.
Yeah, it's how Rod does
Menu.
it. When you do your turn, he just kind of slides them up.
Yep.
All right. So you say you're ranged, Alex?
Yep. But my range is 25 meters, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not going to work too well.
Nope.
Boria, you have your firearm with you, don't you? Ain't you got some big boom boom?
Oh, and a spoot in my hand, so I will probably end up using my. I got a 50-meter flash freeze.
Is it possible for me to try to trick it from this far away, or does it look like it's going to be too far away to understand what I'm doing to it?
This round probably a little too far away. Plus, you're small,
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
so
Okay.
probably next round, I would say that he would be close enough to you to do something like that.
Well,
That's fine.
I think I will haste myself and enhance. I'm going to say Alex, I guess. I'll enhance Alex.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess your dex. What do you use for your range?
My spirit, but don't try to enhance that.
All right, already maxed.
Yeah, well, it's at 13, so yeah. But the dex would probably be better for defensive.
All right, so I'll enhance your dex. So let's go ahead and roll that. I have Magister, so it allows me to cast 2 spells. I guess I still need to do this a -2 though for. All right, so 13 to your dex is that.
You have a good success.
Let's make that a little better since we got those possibilities at the beginning. All right, 21.
You have an outstanding success.
All right, so you get +3 to your dex.
Hey, Dan, and just a reminder, when we're spending possibilities, we should announce if we're using the Tharcold ones or the regular ones.
Have we
And that's
received Tharcold ones yet? Or
From the
that's
Cosm card.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the cousin card.
And that's 3 rounds.
Shoot. Hold on. Let me go back and check. Yes, it's 3 rounds. And I didn't separate them, so did we figure out how we was doing that? I know we discussed it last week.
If you click on the possibilities thing, it
It says status.
yeah.
If you just click the small
Gotcha,
little
thank
dot
you.
below your character icon, you
All
get numbers that come up. Or not called numbers, colors.
All right, we're in Tharcold right now, though, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and spin the Tharcold one since that's where we're at.
From now on, if I don't hear it, I'm assuming it's going to be a regular possibility, so we don't have to try to rewind time or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it up now.
I appreciate it.
Right.
All right. So that was a 21 was the result for the roll. So that gives me I can ignore the first 4 points of multi-action penalties from here on out. So that's it. We're done.
Okay.
I'm good.
You have Alex moved up to the complete, and I haven't done anything yet.
It's Secusis that was the
Oh,
one who
sorry.
completed.
Oh, sorry.
But Alex is going to.
It'll take me a little while to get people with
Oh, no,
characters.
no
But
problem.
all right. But Alex will jump since he's the next in line,
Okay.
and I'm going to start a TK barrier
Okay.
in case this thing comes for me. That's an outstanding.
So that gives you like a plus
3 to all my defenses.
all your defense. Yep. Okay. So who wishes to go next?
Alexa,
Just
you
gonna-
can definitely come down and get next to me. Because if it shoots at me, it has it wouldn't have a chance to hit you. But if it shoots at you, I can always get hit instead of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was just gonna kind of float closer towards the mountain,
Okay.
and just to stay with him because I can't really do a lot at the moment, because I don't really have ranged or really attacks at all. So,
And
I
you're
will-
not used to falling through the air.
right, really, I think I'm gonna, as I'm falling towards the mountain, I'm just gonna look around to see if there happens to be anything else that's coming. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll look around, see if I can find anything else that's potentially coming up at us.
So roll a find. Go ahead and roll a find. Yep. So you don't see anything as you are falling other than the plane that you just jumped from and the Daigam Spectre.
Noted.
So Borgia is going to go. He's going to take a spoot, look at Lucusus and say, you should have gone when you had a chance, and we'll jump out the...
Now, mind you, I said I dove out as soon as I shoved Alex out the door, so...
Oh, okay, you're out there, okay.
I mean...
You should have left me. Oh, why did you leave me in the plane? And then I'm essentially going to wait until it gets within 50 meters, and then I will blow it up with my mind.
And then the mountain did his defense.
Yeah.
Still got hit, but tried.
I tried. Did my best. Not really able to 7, but
No. Did anybody tell the little guy how to pop the chute just in case you get knocked unconscious there, Mountain?
what?
Exactly.
I'm watching all of you. I'll figure out when to pull when you guys do.
Yeah, he read the manual, right? He can read, I hope.
No.
I can read, but I didn't actually read the manual because,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
he gave him the book.
Right. You told me I was jumping out of an airplane and this thing was going to save me, so I didn't want to really, like, mess with it and break it.
I just remember watching Point Break before all this went down.
That fine documentary.
This one did not fall. You pull this one when this one doesn't work. And if that one doesn't work, then you're hitting the ground.
Yay!
The,
Retreat.
the
That'll
The
break.
villains will go first, but you'll be up,
Ooh.
and any multi-action is approved. Villain reality tests when soaking damage have a -4 penalty.
That's a nice card.
So that is not very good for the villain, besides
Fortunate that we're
it
getting
going first.
in a little air fight.
And we should have cards. in full.
So
Yes.
Yes, cards in.
yeah, and so how I'm going to have this Daigam Spectre work is he shot the mountain, and the mountain's falling. He can't really see Electo, so he's going to shoot at the next one who came out, which was Alex. 'Cause he knows he hit the mountain. He just doesn't realize the mountain didn't take much damage. So
He's got some pretty bulky armor.
So does that mean the mountain's actually falling faster towards the ground than the rest of us?
Eh. I don't know. If I drop a 10-liter or like a 10-pound bottle and a gallon bottle, they're still falling.
oh, well, it doesn't disconnect, but it does not hit Alex. Just
Hey, yay.
Right, we're in a
Oh,
Mirrors are working.
completely does not do anything.
Like parachuting ninja.
So the mountain and Alex kind of they go down. They were the first two out, so they're kind of around. Judging by distance, you think you'll probably hit the ground and in 2 more rounds. Everybody else will be in 3 more rounds.
Do I think that I could try to roll to land and parachute, or to parachute and land faster? Try to, get value out of this.
If you want to try to, parachute people, like put their, hands by their side, kind of arrow themselves down. Give me an air vehicle roll.
That's cool, because I actually have a point in that. I have one just in case.
Nice.
So he's going from the mountain to the comet. Gotcha.
I'm up.
It's a good thing too.
Yeah, it is a good thing. An 11.
Okay.
Is that good enough?
So, yeah, it beats a standard, so.
I don't
Sure.
I'd rather not spend the first scene dying. That would be unfortunate.
Sorry, that I had that on the wrong person. So
I take it we don't have to worry about pulling the cord. It's assumed we're doing that.
it's assumed that you'll do it, and unless something like a setback happens and doesn't get nullified.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Thank
that
you,
would
Electo.
happen. Electo's gonna, while I'm pulling this parachute, I'm gonna try to maneuver the Spectre to make it a little more vulnerable. Like perhaps I'm gonna swing by it as I'm pulling the chute out, and make it have to dodge out of my way or something.
Right. And
So,
it is, say, 50 meters. It got half of the distance that it was.
all right. Am I still getting the minus on that maneuver because of its size?
The minus wasn't because of its size; it was because of its speed.
Right. So am I counting the large bonus is what I'm asking.
I would say go ahead and do the -2, because it's a lot faster than you trying to maneuver with the parachute. But
And you're up.
That I am.
Hey, at least we're getting all the really bad rolls out now.
Remember what I said at the beginning of the game about the roll 20?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. We'll only have to deal with bad rolls the entire session.
Right. So
you got a player's call.
So I will, if I can, I would make it vulnerable, but I guess I'm trying to make it go out of the way, but there's probably nothing up in here to like make it lose track of us or anything, right? Can I maneuver it so that it flies in the clouds? And
did you say something about pulling your? You said something about pulling your chute.
You could like let go of the chute and have it like go over the canopy, the bubble canopy, and then land on like the mountain. If you wanted to try something crazy like that.
I mean, hey, you got a player's call.
You do have you have a spare. I mean, there is a backup chute.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, they're supposed to be.
I don't think it's an ORD. It's not possibility rated, so it's not like it needs to hang around and shoot at you for 30 more minutes or something. So sure, that.
Yep, that's what I'll do.
Okay, so you kind of let go of the parachute. I don't understand this thing anyway. It goes over the little bubble dome. It flies off, kind of spins and flies off in the distance. And what I will need though for everybody, let's see what it is. It's maybe because I don't think this one's standard. I was wrong. You need a everybody but Electo. I need to roll a standard air vehicle test to use your chute and not take damage when you hit the ground. Electo, I just need a kind of a standard, maybe. Go ahead, and they usually don't let you do maneuvers and stuff without it being interactive, but I'll say, since you did that cool thing with the maneuver onto the mountain, because you don't have a parachute.
Are we still up for this roll?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Why not?
Can we use just dexterity if we don't have the air vehicles?
Yes.
All right, Lucusus has a 17.
I'm still going to take some damage because I'm pretty sure the parachute.
Yeah, this isn't like you're gonna die. It's just you're gonna take some damage if you don't.
Right. You're gonna probably roll your ankle, and it's gonna be uncomfortable, but you still have an ankle, and you can still feel. So
Always important.
Oh, I did that wrong. But that's okay. I'm over the 10.
Yeah, I think everybody made it over
I
standard.
think everybody made it. So, yes, the up helped a lot. for
Yes,
some.
that it did.
Oh yeah.
So you all
I
successfully
surfed the mountain down.
right, kind of standing on his back. You all hit the ground kind of one right after another, and you're able, at this point, either just leave the chutes and head to town, or if you want to grab them up and put them somewhere, I'll leave that up to you. But you've hit the ground, and the city that you're going to is right in front of you.
Well, you should keep things tidy, so Alex will wrap up the parachute to hide it or get rid of it later.
Okay.
Silk is good for trade. Yes, I'll
It can also burn.
wrap it up.
Well, why didn't you tell me to keep it? Then I would have. As mine flies away.
I think what you did
You
is
were so
fine.
far away. You kind of traded it for us not shooting it anymore. Yes.
And then Alex will get on his knees and pray for a while.
Walk by shaking my head. He's not even plugged into the net. Keep walking.
We don't have to be plugged into a net.
So then how do you speak with your God if you're not into the God net?
It is a matter of faith.
I know, right? Hit a load of this guy.
Yes, and thank you, Mountain, for being there. I needed that, safe landing area.
No, yeah, that's not what I'm here for.
So you gather your parachutes up and stuff them back in the little thing. Probably not as neat and tidy as they need to be if you needed to immediately use them again. But you all except one have a parachute.
Shall we find some use for this?
You, like I said, the city of Votkинsk is just ahead of you. It kind of does look that it's been largely abandoned. A lot of the smaller cities and towns in occupied Russia have just been decimated by the, if not in the initial invasion, by the Civil War, where the three dukes duking it out are just kind of one will take over an area and the next will come in and steamroll after them. So it leaves towns like craters and ruins and stuff like that. So there is a lot of crumbling brick and concrete that kind of show that dozens of battles have occurred in the streets since the invasion. And there's a pile of scraps and junk and broken buildings and twisted cars that are kind of choking intersections. Like, even sometimes you think maybe people have put them there up as barriers and otherwise. And you also see bones littering the street here and there. So it's not a lot of a cleanup going on. But what you do see is, because a lot of the buildings and stuff have crumbled and have been knocked over, and off in the distance to the southwest of the town, you see one of the Orthodox churches with the onion bulb towers on the sides and blue spires still standing. And even from this distance, you can tell that around it in a perimeter is a lot of these twisted beams and burnout cars and what I want to say, chain link fence and even razor wire that's kind of sectioning off that part of the church from the rest of the town.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on who has decided to take over the church.
So is the church protecting itself from the people around it, or is it protecting the people around it from the church?
I don't
No?
think we know that yet.
I think the answer is yes.
But it looks like a good place to go.
This is the only one. Looks like it's the only building completely standing, right? Pretty much.
Yes.
So I mean, there's no place else. I'd say it's a good place to start.
Yes,
Seems like best place to go. Yes.
let us head there and see what the front door looks like.
I would believe it probably looks like a door.
Well, you know, is it guarded or is it open and letting everyone in is what I meant.
Well, are there still crosses on the church? Or has somebody defaced it?
No, it actually looks just like a Russian Orthodox church that has not been, it doesn't look like it's been defiled or anything or switched icons or things like that. It just looks like a Orthodox church.
Okay. Then, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, just
So,
take a look and see if we see people walking around and if anyone looks like they're walking in and out of it, or if it's just kind of like completely barricaded around. You know, just kind of as we get close, see if there's a entrance at all, or if it's just completely barricaded.
So it does. You do need to get a little bit closer, but you said that you're walking, so you do get closer and out in that I'll call it a field area between the church and the debris and chain link fence, razor wire. Between that and the church, there are a few people kind of standing out there. They don't seem to be. They seem to be just wearing normal winter clothes. They don't seem to be like priests or somebody that would work in a church, but they don't look like anything that you would have seen before, like mutants or marauders or anything like that.
So refugees, more than likely.
Perhaps.
Shall we go say hi?
Yes, let us go close and see if we can say hi, if they are friendly or wish to talk.
Okay. So you get up closer and you do see that the whole thing has been barricaded, but there is a spot right in front of where the church entrance would be, directly across from it, where from the inside it looks like they have a piece of that wall that could be detached and then kind of moved over if need be. And one of the people comes up to you and kind of holds out their hand and is like, "Здравствуйте."
Bonjour, monsieur.
In Russian, Alex says hello.
So you go, "Здравствуйте."
Zdravstvuyte.
I don't understand Russian. What is he
Tu
saying?
parles français et anglais?
So
He says hello.
does Borya is
Oh,
he Russian or race?
He's Russian.
He's Russian. Okay. So they are speaking in Russian, and he asks like, Who are you?
I am Borja. We are here to meet people.
Oh, who, who, who do you lead? Who do you look for?
We look for someone, Iliana.
As much time as I spend here, I might as well learn the language. I have not yet.
It's true.
Gaspija Uliana.
Yeah,
Da, da.
you know her.
You wait here. Подождите, пожалуйста. I'll be back. And then he kind of turns around and goes into the Orthodox cathedral. The other people out there they've stopped kind of what they're doing is they're trying to keep that area as you got closer. It's snowing, it's Russia, and they're trying to actually just keep that area somewhat clear, but also they're leaving a layer of nice smooth snow, I guess you could say, on the top.
Alex is kind of looking at the people. Do they appear healthy?
Uh,
Well fed?
they don't necessarily look well fed, but they don't look like they're starving. They probably look like they're on slim rations, but aren't to any type of point where they're, you know, completely emaciated or something.
Yeah, they're surviving.
Yeah.
And after a few minutes, the same person comes back, and he has a folded up piece of paper in his hands, and through the kind of barrier, he hands Borya this folded piece of paper,
I will open the paper. What does it say?
and he says, "You bring, we deal." And you open up the piece of paper, and in Cyrillic, it says "Crystal," and it kind of is on the top. It says "Crystal," and then it's kind of a really crude, probably by looking at it, it kind of looks like a hastily drawn street map, and a couple of blocks over, it kind of has an X there.
I'll look at everybody else, and it looked like they want us to get something so we can get in.
Then we should probably get it.
Indeed.
Is some sort of champagne crystal? Is what it said. You know? It's right here.
That could also be a person.
It could be. Hey, I'll bang on the door again. Hey, is person or thing we getting for you?
Being Russian, you would know Crystal is not a Russian person's name. It translates as crystal,
But they're not necessarily Russian. So
right. He wrote in Russian.
Oh yes, he did. It's person or thing.
It is crystal, like quartz, but not quartz.
Oh, what does crystal look like?
Well, crystals are these
Is-
rock formations.
Is yellow or red or blue, or does it glow?
Gray.
Is gray?
Gray.
What do you want gray crystal for?
He has the other
If
shades
you
and wants
want
that one.
If you want to conversation with Gaspija Uliana, she require crystal.
Ah. I think I understand.
Hey, we go get crystal. We go talk to person.
Well, let's go get Crystal.
Okay.
I haven't seen a crystals in a while.
Does he have a nice little north, south, east, west? This is where we go.
Yeah, it is X.
Let's go in X. We go to X.
He's not a cartographer, that is for certain.
At least he could draw and write. Some people cannot.
What we got?
It's true.
It's very true.
So as you kind of are looking on the map and trying to get yourself to where the X is, the town itself, besides that area of where the Orthodox Church was, the town seems really abandoned and kind of eerie. You notice those bones kind of littering the streets, and then you kind of start hearing a noise off in the background, some type of machinery going on, and it's as you're going towards where the map is, where you're hoping the map is supposed to take you, then the sound kind of is getting closer to you, but it seems like it's getting close to you more than just your travel towards that. So I'll have people give me a evidence analysis check. That sounds like it would probably be better than find, or figuring out something by noises.
So it's 13, or shall I go? 13's what Lucas has got.
And Alex.
So, and I'll just state that if I don't give you a difficulty number, or if I don't say, wait, let me figure out what difficulty, it's just going to be a 10. So quite a few of you got, both of you got it, I guess. So let's see, it'd be
We need to get this
Alex
up to a 15.
and
Now, mind you, your enhance is gone.
Yes. Do we need to get this up to a 15?
I wouldn't say so. Basically, you hear what seems to be, you've seen enough television and things, pre-war, and you might have experienced things after the invasion, but it seems like the crushing of metal and debris and concrete by some type of treaded vehicle.
It
Should
might.
we-
Oh, I have ridden on a tank before. Perhaps it was that.
Should we hide?
I would rather not be in the way of a.
That might be a good idea, but maybe off of the street.
Yes.
So, shall we go opposite sides to flank, depending on what it is?
Sure.
Just in case. Sounds good. Stealth around.
Sorry, you need some stealth checks.
Yes, go ahead and give me some stealth checks.
Alex is hiding on the wrong side of the tree.
Yeah, well, Lucusus is just like looking back and forth and hasn't found a place to hide yet.
Oh wow!
Apparently.
Yeah.
Clearly, we are in the blasted lands, and there's just nowhere to hide.
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, do I hide over here in the broken down building on the left, or the broken down building on the right, or the collapsed bridge in front of me? I don't have no idea.
Yeah. So you're trying to figure out. You're like, let's go stealthy, and then
None
you
of
see
us.
kind of above the
Is it
debris. Yeah, Spoot is like
Spoot is a ninja compared
scampers,
to all of us.
he like scampers under some debris and hides, and everybody else is kind of in the open. When you see these tank treads come up off of this pile of debris and kind of crushes it, like a tank would, but as it gets to the kind of the apex and starts to tilt down, it looks more like a cross between a street sweeper and a Zamboni machine.
Nice.
And it has these big, like, metal tubes that are bending, and they're kind of coming out of the big box section in the middle of it, and it's like grabbing and sucking up some of the smaller debris.
Oh, it's just cleaning up the mess.
And I need to
I make
see
sure that I'm not one of the smaller debris it's going to suck up. Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Mountain, can I climb up there now? I mean, we all had the idea to hide, but not a single one of us did it. The bug did.
I don't know. The
Mountain got a 10. Yeah,
Oh, well,
Mountain got a 10, yeah.
The most imposing figure on the battlefield is like, yes, this seems like a very good time to hide. You guys are like, what?
So the mountain hides, and we're trying to hide exactly where the mountain is, so we can't get there.
The mountain's taking up the only hiding spot there is.
Exactly.
Sorry, guys, there just isn't enough room.
Yeah, the one piece of rock that's big enough to hide behind, the mountain's got it covered.
Yeah, it could fit like the rest of us or the mountain one.
Oops.
So, even though you can't hide the, what I want to say, the Wario would probably recognize it. It's a synth cycler, which are they basically are like street cleaning things, but instead of really cleaning it, they're just grabbing raw materials that it breaks down, and it turns into these blocks of material that then are used to manufacture things. So a lot like in a very advanced form of 3D printing.
Oh,
That's how Tharkold makes their weapons and occult tech armor and all that kind of stuff.
Big recycling machine.
What you're saying is,
so it could be pirates and take over their
made out of
goods.
flesh.
What was that, Michael John?
So what you're saying is Boria's arm could entirely be made out of like bone and flesh, but it painted chrome.
Probably is.
So, what do we do with this thing? Just stay
Yeah.
out of its way?
I would just stay out of its way, personally.
Staying out of its way is probably a good idea.
Okay, so if you're going to try to stay out of its way, I'm going to go to a DSR.
Okay.
That if you get to step D before,
I would rather not become raw material.
then yeah, and the like as it comes up, it spots you, and the driver of it, you can see him. He kind of gets a smile on his face, like organic material. I need that.
Hey, driver is kind of jerk.
Rod,
I don't know.
Rod's-
Driver just wants his bonus for today.
Rod says intimidate it. Yeah, with our group, he might meet his quota.
So let me. Get you guys onto the map. Okay, so everybody.
We're missing nobody, I guess. Okay, we're all there.
I could not find anything in the book. So this would be the Nile Empire version.
Nice.
It's the only thing that kind of looked more mechanical and didn't look like, just a modern street
There's
sweeper.
actually a picture of this, I think, in the Creatures of Tharkold book, the old.
Oh, is there?
I think there is, because I was looking through it the other day. You started talking
Oh,
about
the old one.
Yeah.
I'm pulling that up.
I was actually looking through it because we're removing all the Torg books and we're sorting them, and I was looking through it and I'm like, all of the things in here are terrible. Everything in here is so bad. But that was one of the things I was like, oh, that's not really surprising for Tharkold.
So for this DSR, hopefully pretty straightforward and simple. Is
Don't get eat by the big machine.
and they say it's a DSR, but I'm not quite sure if it should be a chase. But I usually don't like chases, so I'll say a DSR works perfect in this case. And you do hear other ones kind of off in the distance, and from the way that this one came, it does kind of look a little bit clearer. Like you have been seeing all these bones and debris and stuff in the streets, and it looks like that a group of these synth cyclers have come to clean up and get supplies. But you can try to basically maneuver around it. It is very cumbersome. So you are going against its land vehicles, which I will give you the difficulty number to that. Land vehicles is a 12. So does somebody want to try step A, and will other people try to help do that combined action type thing?
I guess it depends on the card that we get. We don't have a card yet.
And does it actually need to be a land vehicles roll, or can it be we need to maneuver against its land vehicles?
You can use some type of dexterity based skill to outmaneuver it, or go through buildings that it will take time to go through, or you can try a mind skill to outsmart it. I'm going to go from this point to this point to this point, and it's going to have to do this. So basically, if you tell me something that makes sense, we can have you roll against it. So hot zone, all characters not immune to radiation must take an easy difficulty number of 8 strength test or suffer 1 wound. Ow. So you're going into one of those little hot spots of the blasted lands.
Alex takes
Taunt trick. Heroes go first. Villains fatigue, taunt, trick are approved actions.
And we do not have a step A.
No.
Correct.
I am going to spend.
But if somebody does do step A, that does also count as an approved action.
Yeah, I'm going to spend my Tharkold possibility because I don't wish to take a wound.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to also do that. I don't really want to take the wound. Okay. If everyone else is okay with it, I'll try the step A maneuver to try to draw a card.
Okay.
I'm not going to put any juice on that because it's just a card, so it's not worth the card for a card. So
How close is this vehicle to us at the moment?
It is. It would be like if you were doing a chase, it would be 4 steps away, whatever that
I just
abstract
shared.
distance. If you want to shoot or something, it would be within range.
All right,
It's just slow.
would it be within 50 meters?
Yes, definitely within 50 meters.
All right, so I'm going to, and I can see the driver, right?
Yes.
All right, well, let's try this against him.
By the way, I just shared a picture of the old version of this in the chat on Zoom.
Ah, okay. Ah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, this one has tubes also, is how it's described.
All right, so, sorry, 15 is what I rolled against its willpower or spirit.
Let me look at the driver. That would be a good success. It has an 8 spirit. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So he is going to be very stymied.
Now I remember. I was like, why don't I have this thing as a card or as a character sheet? I knew I checked this, and it's because the driver is already in here. So there's the driver.
So while we're in the DSR, we can attack the driver.
Yeah, you could attack either the driver or the synth cycler itself.
And we can see the driver.
You can see the driver, yes.
Okay.
We have a plus.
At least
1.
in this one. I don't know how. I just imagined the way when I was prepping for the adventure and reading the material, it sounded like this was the like you could see the driver as he was excited to plow over you and use your bodies as material.
Then, since we can't do the DSR, Alex will try to pyrokinese that driver.
Okay.
Is there any minuses since he's kind of in cover?
I'll just give a -2 to that.
Okay. That's a 21. And against his dodge of a 12, I have a good success. One more point would... Does anyone have a supporter or anything they want to help?
I don't think we have any cards in our pools yet.
Oh, that's right, we
Yeah,
don't. Then I'll just accept the good success.
Good success. Okay.
And damage. The target's toughness is an 11. Is he in full armor?
Yes.
Okay, then it is a full 11. Okay. 1 wound and 2 shock.
Okay. And it looked like somebody had already made this guy full, so. And that was Alex. Look, Cusis, you were shooting something.
I hit him with fear, which made him very
fear.
stymied.
Okay. Very stymied. Okay. So that will help. And who wishes to go next?
I will pull out my shield and try to attack the vehicle. So I have a +4 because it's very large. That's what the +4 in the in the defenses are.
Yes. Are you then going towards it?
It's probably not a good idea, but maybe if I hit it hard enough, then it's not a bad idea. Um,
Famous last words. I mean, it should be fine. It'll be fine.
yeah, I'll be fine. Plus, I don't have any ranged. Um, so I guess, yeah. It's definitely not a good decision, but I get to whack it. So that's what the mountain's going to do.
Okay. So you grab your shield and charge forward.
Yeah. Does anything terrible happen when I get close to it?
Don't go that way.
Um,
Don't never go that way.
Yeah, everybody else is like trying to figure out how to escape it, and you just see the
I'm like,
mountain
let's just
turn
turn it off. You know.
and run right at it. No, you if you want to get there and attack, you can.
Okay.
And then
and-
others will have to decide if they want to stay with the DSR, or if they want to have a standoff. against
Well, if it's
Since
only
like that.
attacking me, that gives them time to get away, which is nice. But
Don't think we want to leave you behind, though.
yeah, that's probably true.
Who will carry Electo? Well,
Yeah.
I think the mountain's going to be running away very quickly too.
Maybe.
Durandal, is that a like weapon or something?
That is a magical weapon. Yeah, he named it.
Oh, so what is the
Oh, I
is that
just disconnected. Yes.
Oh, you disconnect. Okay. So you run off and Russia
Died.
doesn't care. It's just like okay, you found that faster than I did. So.
that does not look too good.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
Well, Borja will slyly pick up a rock, make it look like he's pulling a pin with his teeth, and throw it at the driver. So I'm going to try to trick the driver.
Okay.
I mean, hey, maybe I'll bring in a new character next scene. I don't know. That would suck. I do like the mountain, but what am I gonna do?
It'll be fine. So,
Responsibility for a card. You know what?
well, he's already very stymied. So,
Yeah.
if he's going for vulnerables, if that gives you any bearing on what to do.
Yeah, let's yeah, we'll just keep that. So we're good. I was thinking about trading a possibility for a card, but I think we're okay.
Driver's like, yeah, it's a fucking rock. I've seen him all day long.
Yeah, exactly. I saw you pick up the rock.
Every day,
Throw it
all
at me.
day.
I've been over there. I've already cleaned up that street. There's no grenades there.
And was Spook doing anything?
Spoot's going to continue hiding.
Okay.
Until he is needed.
He wants Spook to grow up and be a real butterfly. I mean, a moth.
Exactly. Might have to bring out the big guns next.
What's your arm?
That is one big gun.
It's the only gun I've ever seen you really use. Is your... I run up and punch things. I mean, that's where Lucusus learned how to punch. I was watching you.
Oh, but they have more tricks now.
Yes, you have that funny little helmet.
Yes, I do.
All right, so what's that?
Okay. It's going to be his turn. Since the synth cycler is like a vehicle and the pilot was already in roll 20, I kind of was going with the pilot but forgot to add the vehicle's weapon. So let me just fill in that real fast, and then I can have him attack the mountain who is disconnected and can't soak, and that's horrible.
Anyone has a reconnect card, I'm totally willing to cut off your hands.
Unfortunately, I don't think we do, Michael John.
So that's unfortunate.
Well, that's why you have a reality search in your hand.
That's true. I also have my Cosm card, which may help me.
Or he will completely miss.
He
It's all
has
good.
probably a decent chance of missing.
Well, we already know he won't disconnect. No, that was the
That was the flyer.
yeah, that was the flyer earlier. My bad.
Flyer. Okay, I think that should do it. These things aren't really meant for combat, but they do have a pretty big,
Got a little gravity.
it's called like a deconstruction arm, deconstruction attack.
It doesn't sound good.
Ruh-roh.
That's a really big AP number.
Yes.
That'll miss me if it's against melee or unarmed. That'll miss me.
Yeah, it would. You have your shield out, so it would be against your.
I don't get my
melee.
shield bonus because I'm disconnected, and it's
Right.
Act 26. But
you can still use it as a weapon-ish.
right, without it, I still have a 16. I have a 16
Okay.
rating.
So yeah, this big vacuum tube looking arm with pinchers attached to it kind of grab onto your shield as you're disconnected, and you're like, no, it's mine.
I do quite like this shield.
And he actually fatigues, so he takes a couple more points of shock.
Also, if we take out this guy, then we get to drive this thing around and suck people up.
Guess that's one way to be able to go get the crystal.
Maybe not suck people up, but I mean,
Oh, look, a
create
techno-demon.
blocks
Hey,
of
look.
resources to help people.
I don't know. I like sucking up people. That sounds like fun. Only if they're bad people, though. They have to be evil.
I'll go ahead and set that so you can kind of see the bars.
Hear me
also.
out. We get to turn evil people into guns. That's pretty cool.
It's a win-win situation, right?
Yeah, I get to. Oh, look, this techno demon. Well, he just turned into RPG rockets. Awesome.
So let's see what this one is. I usually make them bigger so I can read them better. Any villain who has suffered one or more wounds suffers another wound.
He suffered a wound.
Taunt approved.
He's like going, and he's like all excited that some organic mineral or material, and then the big claw comes out and hits the mountain's shield, and he kind of wanting to have the claw with the vacuum attachment, get you and not just plow over you, which is what he probably should have done. But he kind of stops, and he doesn't believe in seatbelts, and he kind of slides off of the little side chair, and that arm decides, because it's a Tharkold machine, so it's not necessarily always does what a driver wants it to do, kind of sees that as an easier target and kind of scoops him up.
Okay.
That's why you should always wear seatbelts.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so
Yes,
this
viewers,
DSR
always wear your seatbelt.
especially in Tharkold.
I have seen beasts turn on rider before. Now I've seen a machine turn on a pilot, I guess.
It's same thing.
So, I mean, he had a wound. He only had one wound, so the second wound killed him. So why not make it interesting?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Boria,
look, guys, more material.
Locutus, can one of you control that thing? The machine?
Is the machine still running? Moving?
Yeah, it would still be running. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to actually try to reconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to reconnect.
While you're doing that, I'll have everybody
Ooh,
go up to 4 cards, and then
I'll reconnect.
you can choose if you wish to discard a card and draw a new one, as we'll kind of end this scene and move on to the
I
next.
guess as we can just kind of get out of the way of this thing before it kind of comes towards us.
Yeah, I'm gonna discard that transfer because
Jim, do you want leadership cards?
Sure. I was discarding that second win, so I'll just I'll take the leadership instead if you want.
No, I'll get rid of the coup de grace. Coup de grace.
I like the cards I got.
I already do quite a bit of damage. Wouldn't be cool if I had hit the thing,
All right, so I'll go and draw.
It's a good thing I didn't play my reality surge because I was thinking about it.
So no longer disconnected.
Yeah, that would have been really unfortunate. Oh, I disconnected. Oh, look, he just got an outstanding, and it's AP10. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It would have been
and I believe it was a base damage of like 18 or something. It was
yeah, it would
pretty
have been
nasty
like,
weapon.
all right, let's see which other beta tier character I have that I want to.
Yeah, HQ. Yeah, we lost the mountain. Can you send somebody else?
By plane if preferable.
We have a hill.
We had the mountain, now we have a puddle. We're not sure what to do with this anymore.
I don't
Hey,
think.
maybe we can trade this thing with the people at the cathedral.
It's like crystal, except a mountain.
Listen, we don't have the crystal, but we do have this thing that could possibly make crystals.
Did Boria try to take control of it?
He wants to give me a land vehicle. I'll have you do a -2 to the roll, or difficulty of 12, just because it's not something that's common.
Oh, I'll do it. We'll just take the DM12 here. And
I
you know
have a
what?
supporter if you want it.
Yeah, if either support or I've got an adrenaline. Why don't I just drop the adrenaline for that?
And I'm guessing that these 3 cards were the ones that were discarded,
Yeah.
They were, yes.
and the adrenaline. So you get on it, and there's only room for one operator, and you kind of feel that the synth cycler itself, you the pilot directs it where to go, but it kind of does what it does, and that's why it had
Grabbed him.
killed that guy. So you might not want to ride it, or other people would probably not be a good thing.
Would I be able to
But
shut
yeah,
it down?
you are on the synth cycler.
But you could always just lead the way, and we stay behind you a good distance.
Yeah, and we don't even have to worry about tripping over anything. It's gonna pick up everything.
Yes. No landmines and nothing along those lines.
Oh no,
So
not the stray cat. Oh no.
Is there a way to turn it off?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, you can figure out how to, either the off button or whatever is the key mechanism.
How far is it till our X marks the spot?
You figure you've got about a third way of the way there when this all happened.
Gotcha. So
I mean,
what I'll do
cleaning
is
the roads is not a bad idea.
I will clean the roads another third of the way there.
Okay.
So I will lead the way, as it were.
So it's kind of like the first plow of a snow that it's not big enough to get the whole street, but you are kind of able to make a path, and it does take a while. It doesn't just like instantly disintegrate things. So you kind of maneuver towards where there's less debris. Otherwise, you would be here way too long, unless you want to spend a lot of time sweeping streets and clearing them.
Probably not.
No.
We'll just make it look like, hey, we're doing something for Tharkold.
Right.
Yay.
And it kind of keeps
Makes
the other
Tharkold beautiful.
cyclers off of you
Yes.
from trying
Yes.
to do the same thing.
He's Tharkold beautification type of project. Yeah.
Right. So you get to that point that you wanted, that the next third, so two-thirds of the way there, and you are the psychic in the group.
Myself and Alex. Or
Oh
yeah,
yes,
Alex. Yeah.
okay. So you're driving it, and all of a sudden you're in front. So you would get this before Alex behind you, but you kind of feel, and even if you don't have a power that's like a danger sense, you feel some type of danger warning.
That's when we will stop the synth cycler and shut it down.
Or you use it to eat the danger.
We could feed it later, but being stealthy now might be good.
Well, we could have been stealthy earlier, but you guys goofed it up.
No.
Yes.
Next time, leave us a hiding spot and don't push us out into the middle of the street.
So
He's right. We kind of messed that one up.
Boria, you've stopped the synth cycler, turned it off, made sure none of the arms were going around before you dismounted.
That's right.
And then everybody else kind of walks up, and that's when Alex gets the same like danger sense.
There is something wrong up ahead.
Yes, that is why I take union break.
I thought there was something wrong all around, everywhere.
Well, no, something even more wrong ahead of us.
I mean,
Oh.
it is Tharkold. Is something wrong everywhere?
Is it just a general sense, or is there a direction going? That way is the danger. That way is okay.
No, it's more of like say Spider-Man's thing of just something's wrong, something's probably going to happen soon.
The shit is about to go down.
I think so.
Well, I mean, we have to get this crystal.
Well, we can try to be stealthy again. and
I'm
perhaps
sure
we
we
can
do
really.
better.
Okay.
We can try. I said.
Try. Yes. Okay.
Mountain, show us how it's done.
Don't let the mountain go first. He'll take the best hiding spot.
Right. That's why I can hide behind him.
Yeah, the mountain is more than willing to lead.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Alex actually is stealthy.
Yeah, too bad it was unskilled because
Yeah.
it didn't explode.
Yeah, the mountain doesn't hide, but just about everyone else does.
What was the? Well, we don't know for certain if we did or not.
Yeah, Dan probably didn't, but
Spoot is the ninja with Alex.
Yeah, I got a 9.
hey, Mike, it's showing that Spoot is wounded. Is that actually true?
Spoot should not be wounded.
I know somebody had their character wounded,
Oh.
and I changed that, but that might
I
I might
must
not
have
have
clicked.
seen that with Spoot.
I must have clicked. He's not wounded, so we're good. Fixed it.
I mean, he's still
So
a ninja.
the mountain was ahead, and other people were following with various degrees of stealthiness. And mountain, go ahead and give me a find check.
I can give you an idea. Just to help me out though. 4. Hey. I'm rolling positive.
Mind or find?
Find.
With an F,
Same thing.
not an M.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he might be skilled in.
Not much better.
Same thing.
Okay, I didn't know if he was skilled in find or not, so it would have made a difference.
No. You guys are supposed to find stuff. Or stuff finds me, which is usually how that works.
He finds it, he beats it up. Or we find it,
It
he
finds
beats it up.
me and it challenges me, and then I beat it up. Or I disconnect and it sucks me up and I'm never heard from again.
So, Boria, you being another kind of brawler type, probably close to the mountain, or would I be wrong in assuming that?
Oh, I was following the mountain because I wanted the mountain to lead.
So, you get the mountain is gonna die feeling in your head. If you wish to try to do something to stop him from dying, that might be good.
I will get out of the way and push him to the side.
Okay.
Can we
How's
can we test that? I mean, he is the mountain for crying out loud.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, I'll tell him afterwards. If I can tell him afterwards. He might not die.
So he kind
if you
of
want me to get out of the way. I'll get out of the way, but I'll try to
pushes you to the side,
lead the rest of the column with me so that no one else.
and you feel that close. Before it was just kind of something bad's going to happen, and now you're feeling more of something bad is close and possibly going to happen. And now everybody else besides the mountain can roll a find to kind of maybe notice some things.
What is going on? No, I rolled a 9. It sucks. No.
Oh yeah, look at that roll.
Ooh,
Nope. Alex is completely clueless.
at least you don't have a cyber eye.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Favored of-
Wait a minute. I do have that cyber eye, so I am favored in that. Forgot about that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just Alex's, I believe, core Earth, so he probably doesn't have one.
One's
Because I have had people disconnect with Find because they happen to have that cyber eye that does that.
So
Yep.
with my favored, that's a 13 on my find.
Okay. So those 10 or higher, kind of you're going along. The mountain was up ahead, and Boria just kind of reaches out, grabs him, and kind of pulls him back into the side, kind of pushes him, and kind of stops. Almost does the little mine to the wall, like I don't want to go closer than right here. And the rest of everybody's kind of like, what was that going on? You look around, and within the twisted debris in this area, you see that there's, before, like I said, you saw bones and twisted cars and stuff like this. In this area, you see kind of dotted throughout the area what looks to be decomposed torsos that are kind of stuck on metal rods and poles that have some type of weird occult tech machinery and wiring fused to them and wrapped around them. And the two psychics are getting bad vibes coming off of them.
Is this some sort of minefield, as it were? Because that's what it feels like.
Not getting any closer, but just looking at them, going off with what Borat said, does it look like this is a trap?
What is in a trap?
Give me a. I'll need a very hard difficulty 16 evidence analysis.
I pulled up the wrong skill.
Okay, so
I will go on and spend a possibility. See if I can get that a little bit higher.
Okay.
$17.
Okay. So you get like you kind of look at these basic rotting torsos hooked up to occult tech, and you're kind of looking at the wires and things. You see that all their jaws have been wired open in this silent scream.
Uh-huh.
And the psychics in the party are kind of feeling on edge, and like it kind of fitting together what they know and what you see, and you sense that this is probably some type of psychic trap.
Okay. Boria, have you ever seen anything like this?
And dead corpses? Yes, all the time.
No, I mean a psychic trap.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
No, yet.
You turn on the vacuum and just let it take all the bodies. And push it through on its own.
How far away are they?
I'm like,
They're kind of scattered. I believe one of you had mentioned that it kind of gave you a minefield type vibe, and it is kind of that going on.
I mean, but is the closest set within like 10 meters of us?
The closest one is just outside of 10 meters.
I'm not sure how to deal with this.
And does it look like there's a path that we could travel that would not get us close to any of these individual bodies, or are they just kind of spaced so that we pretty much would have to get within 10 meters or less of some of them?
It looks like you kind of looking around, and that what do I want to say? That evidence analysis roll was pretty good. It looks like they're all within 10 meters of each other.
is there another way to go around?
Either they blow up and do damage, or they alert something
That does damage.
that does damage. Yes. If they're within 10 meters of each, is it like?
Would you think?
Is it more like a minefield where it's kind of like, well, there's one 10 meters away from us, and then there's one 20 meters away from us, but 10 meters away from him, kind of like in an X pattern kind of thing? Or
Yeah, and they go off to the sides as well.
And with
so
their-
Okay.
it's not just it's not a string of them. They're offshoots.
okay,
Kind of
yeah,
a-
I was wondering if
a
it's a
net.
fence, or, yeah, or yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Um,
is there any other bodies laying around on the ground nearby?
No, there aren't. It looks like any of the bodies were kind of set up to be these things.
If we back up, I can try to telekinesis one up and throw it into another.
Hey, Boya, how much do you like Spook?
Hey, Spoot is my friend.
How's that then?
Because Bora, the other thing I could do is try to burn one of them. But let's try yours first.
I'm gonna stay away from the psychic when he's.
Let's back up about 10 meters, so we're 20 meters away.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to lift one up with my telekinesis.
Step off to the side.
Hmm.
I'm surprised
see
you're
here.
not throwing a rock.
Let's see. 13. Easy 8, so it's a good result. So +2 effective strength, which would be a 12 strength
Okay.
with my spirit.
So that's quite strong. You are able to pick one of those up, and it doesn't go boom or anything.
Can I throw it over toward, or I will throw it, but move it over towards another one within to get it within 10 meters of it?
Yes, you can do that, and it doesn't seem to set off the trigger.
Oh, fantastic.
Maybe the bate
Perhaps
needs
it
to
needs
be warned.
Perhaps
Well-
it needs living creatures within close distance.
Since we're within 20 meters of it, I will try pyrokinesis to destroy the body.
Okay.
Let me get that up. There it is. That's a 16.
Okay, so yes, you are able to light one on fire. And you and Boria both hear the echoes of a psychic scream that you feel that if you would have been close to it as it burns up, it would have hurt pretty good.
So potentially we can burn our way through these.
It seems so, because once you kind of burned that one, it gave that scream, that feeling of immediate danger. While it didn't go away, it felt a little bit less.
And, oh, go on.
I was going to ask, is the one that was destroyed, did it destroy the other one since I floated near it?
No, it did not.
Okay.
But I will go on and try again to blow up the next one, or well, set the next one on fire.
Okay.
And yes,
Yes. So yes, it kind of, also blows up, and you both feel that echo of a psychic scream that does not hit you with a full force of how it would have been. You do sense, though, that psychic scream was was farther than the 10 meters. Like you had picked up the close one that was you had went back 20 feet. You had actually mentioned that,
Mhm.
and then you picked up one and you put it to the next one, so that was 30 feet out, and then so it would have been one of those that you that Alex then pyrokinesis,
This
and it felt really close to you, like probably would have been a 30-meter radius. So luckily you had went back 20 and then had moved the other one 10 more feet. Otherwise you might have all been hurt mentally.
so with the way they did it, it's almost as if one of the other ones blasted it once the one caught fire. Is that what it seems
I-
like?
No, the one that
No,
caught fire was 30 meters away.
Yeah,
It
it's
would've-
just it's a much larger range than the 10
In
meters.
the 10 meters.
Right.
Yeah.
They wanted
Yeah.
you to get close so then you couldn't just, dodge out, or if you had friends that were 10 meters behind you, they would be hit as well.
Okay.
It's better be lucky than good. So we know to stand 50 meters away
So
and
How-
go
I was
pyrokinesis.
to say, how many of these things are
Freeze.
left?
There are quite a few, but you can kind of pinpoint and make a path through them. If you do want to spend more time getting rid of all of them, that's up to you. But you can. I mean, they're out there. They're on spikes. It doesn't seem like anybody hid them. They're kind of like the in a lot of shows and stuff, the marking territory or the stay away type thing set up with corpses. It's that type of nastiness going on.
I'd say let's just make our way through this, make our way forward.
Yeah,
We need to get the crystal.
we shouldn't spend more time in the area than we need to.
Just make enough room
sounds good.
to clear a path for us to go through.
Yes. I don't wish to hear psychic screams.
No.
Alrighty.
When we
So
when we get
you go ahead.
all I say is when we get through, mark the exit so we know where that exit is.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody else does. Just in case we have to run back this way.
Okay. They're kind of, we're going back this way, not over there and not over there.
I mean, the path of burned, of missing bodies might be pretty clear to anyone who wants to know, but give ourselves signs to where that spot is to run to if we had to.
So you make it through that area, and that actually from the little scribbled map you have, it kind of gets you really close to where the X is, and as you turn a corner, you see in front of you is a building. It also has been shot up, but it's not quite as bad as some of the other ones. And above the front of the building has two big kind of garage doors, and it's the sign above it is like mechanic.
Could have brought the sweeper here.
But it didn't need any repairing. It's fine.
It could have been needing cleaning. But
If there is anyone in there, they already know we're here.
agreed. Yeah. We can certainly just walk up to the front doors and see what is going on here.
Knock on the hello, Candyman.
You guys any
Candy
brown
grab from
sugar?
Uncle.
So you go up to the auto shop
Yeah.
and knock on the door, and you are greeted. Did I not?
It's Baba Yaga.
Little mother.
Exactly.
by what looks to be an old, cranky Russian guy that you notice is walking with a limp.
I will say in the Russian, greetings. Hello, old father.
Yeah, what you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Actually, no, you don't look busy. Could you help us out?
Do you need help with your leg?
No, if I wanted good leg, I would take a good leg. that shoot a joke.
Well, we would like a crystal, a gray one. Do you know? Do you know where we could get a crystal from you? Perhaps.
Well, I have crystal, but crystal is worth many blood rubles. And what would you have to pay for crystal?
Well, I can give you 15. Give you about $500.
Rubles?
There's
We
a
have gems, perhaps. I mean, it's what I carry.
there is a sweeper around the corner.
A what around the corner?
A
Cycler.
Sin
cycler?
cycler.
Oh, look like a street sweeper with arms to me.
He's
Oh, you have one of them?
He's down the
Oui.
road just a little bit.
It's around the corner.
Well, I'm not going. It's cold. It's snowing. You bring working sense cycler. If we will make a deal.
Okay.
So I guess it's time to go light
Sounds-
things up some more.
This sounds fair. We go back, we make room, and we bring it here. Yes.
He's actually the main villain. We give him the thing and take it down with it.
Probably, yeah. That's,
Yeah, he gets on the sweeper and turns around and says, "I changed my mind. I
Right.
kill you now."
I sweep you.
Well, it's Act 7. It's the last fight. It's like, I've been chasing you for many months. This thing's not fast.
Ah,
Okay, we'll be back.
So you go and get the synth cycler and drive it up, and he kind of lifts open the garage door that you can pull it right into.
Mountain was right. We should have driven here with this.
and what is your name?
Меня зовут Лев.
I'm Alex.
Очень приятно. And he reaches out to shake your hand.
What was his name again?
Liev.
Lieb.
It's good to meet you, Lieb. I am Electo.
Bonjour, Lacusius.
He called me
And-
Borgia.
Oh, Boria, that is nice name.
It's good Russian name. Yes, I know.
Yes. Molodets.
So,
he-
you got
Go on.
crystal now?
yes, it's just over on table. And as you drove the synth cycler into the garage, and am I correct in assuming that everybody else walked into it because the big garage
yeah.
door is open?
Once
Yeah.
the
So-
arms are no longer moving, yeah.
You kind of wait until it was shut off,
Yes.
and then
Yeah, the mountain
You
of
go
sand
in.
slide the door.
He closes the door because it is cold out there, and you kind of look around, and inside of this uh, re- old auto body shop, is some uh, things to be seen not for a delicate stomach. You see a couple of dead bodies on a couple of tables that used to be, for repairing vehicles, and now they kind of like, there's a torso, and over here is an occult tech arm, and over there is, an occult tech leg, and kind of pieces of occult tech kind of
Are you a Reaper Doc?
around. Oh, I am I am doctor of of chop shop.
Alex crosses himself. Are you not going to provide a good burial for these people?
The machine parts.
I could hardly call a torso a person.
It was at one
He's like,
point.
they they don't need their parts, and before I could not really get anywhere, but now with this, and he kind of motions toward the scent cycler, yes, they will have decent burial.
They
Well, they will be recycled.
will have decent burial with the right person who pays to have them installed.
I'm actually going to go up to Alex and kind of whisper so the old man doesn't hear and have it in English. Do you see any of the other team here?
Good question. Yes,
Oh.
Alex will start looking to see if any of these people might be part of the Saber team, Saber company.
Okay, give me an evidence analysis, because
I also have medicine.
it's not like you need to find, because it's there. And just trying to figure out if anything matches what you.
Do you pass that information on anybody else? Or?
Yes, I will. In French, I will tell Locutus.
Okay.
Oui. I will also do
So
the same.
looking around, nothing appears to be from the missing team. I believe they had a core earther,
An
a
Eilish person.
Aurorish, an Eilish, Pan Pacifica, and an Enos.
Nadinos. Yes.
So there were no either cyberware or occult tech, and from what you had seen in their photos, none of those match body parts of any of the variety that are in this shop.
Well, I don't get favored for evidence analysis on my eye, but I did roll a 1.
Okay, so that's fine, as long as it's basically how I do it is, if it's something that would have affected the roll, then that would be the disconnect, but the just doing it to look isn't going to.
Just, it's not like I was listening to anything, and because I have evidence analysis favored if I listen for it.
Okay, yeah, this was definitely a sight thing.
In other
So
words,
he
good time
goes
to roll
over
the
to
one.
the table, and on it is a kind of a jagged, smoky gray crystal, and he kind of just picks it up, and he kind of gets a smile on his face, and then he walks over to Borya and he offers you the crystal.
Borio will take the crystal.
As soon as you grab the crystal, you feel pain, not enough to like give you shock or anything, because it's not necessarily your pain, but you are feeling pain,
Oh yeah. Okay.
like empathetic pain.
Oh, it's one of those crystals.
Ah,
Are you
that's
all
why
right, Boria?
is that I know why old man smile now. You, yeah, you funny guy.
Are
I,
you all right, Boria?
A funny
oh,
deal.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Let's get this crystal and get this deal done.
Thank you.
Gracias. Yeah, no, wrong language.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Yeah. It has been a long time since I spoke that language.
So yeah, we'll go back to the cathedral.
You a regular mechanic too? Like you work on cars, vehicles?
Before.
Oh, okay.
So, Alex, anything you might like? He may put on for you for good price.
No,
You sure?
no. I am very good with the body God gave me.
So was I before the church got a hold of me. But anyway, that I digress.
A different church.
It's good. So I don't know. Yeah, unless anything else has, we got anything else for Levi here? Liev here.
We've already established that doesn't seem like any Saber Company parts are here.
Yeah. We head back.
We even bother to check the bodies we burned to see if any of them resembled them? No.
I didn't think about it until now, but
No, we burned first and asked questions later.
Yeah, you can kind of look at some of the bodies when you're going back because you didn't clear out all of them, and they do not seem to be any of Saber Company.
Yeah, it would have been that simple. Hey, congratulations, you found them. You're done. No.
So you go back to the Orthodox Church. You made that clear way through the psychic minefield, and up until the part where you encountered the synth cycler, you had a path, so you actually make it a little bit faster, and then you get back to the cathedral. And is that all right if I pause for one moment and take a quick bio break?
Well, yeah,
and
what we do is
start
we'll
again?
take about a 5 or 10 minute break for everybody to use the restroom, get drinks and snacks.
Okay, let's
Sounds
go ahead
good.
and do that.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far. We'll be right back. You say 9:40 ish
Okay.
Eastern
Sounds
time.
good.
All right, we'll be back
all right.
once I find the banner to close. There we go. And we're back. So we left off dealing with the grumpy old man, or no, we already made it back towards the church, did we not?
We did.
Yes, you got back to the Orthodox Church. Again, it has that ring of debris and chain link fence and razor wire kind of around it. The
Very welcoming.
the person who saw or who had seen you before, who had communicated and gave you the note with the map, comes out seeing that you have returned and is like, Crystal?
Yes, we have crystal. And I'll show him the crystal.
Okay. So he horror show, real horror show. And he gets a couple of the other people, and it kind of takes 3 people on both sides of this big gate that's movable, and they kind of unhook it and move it a little bit so that you guys can kind of file through it one by one, and then they close it back, and the same person beckons you to follow him, and he's like, "Idite, пожалуйста, come, please."
Yeah, we follow.
Follow along.
So you go into the Orthodox Church, and the first thing that you notice is from the inside, it doesn't. The outside looked like a perfect Orthodox church, and the inside not so much so. And Boria, being from Russia, you would know that in certain times, especially in the Soviet era, when there was like no religion allowed, a lot of churches were turned into museums and things like that. And that's what appears that might have happened with this Orthodox church, where the outside still looks all nice, and the inside, it has a mishmash of rugs and furniture. It also looks like probably things scavenged from nearby buildings have been brought into this area. So from the inside, it's not really serving a church purpose anymore. And you hear, kind of playing off of the acoustics, though, in the church, old Soviet era orchestra music that has a crackling sound, like it's actually probably a record player, going, and you get the little crackling with it. And the man kind of motions you to continue to follow him, and you kind of weave your way around furniture and desks and different assortment of furniture, and you kind of get to what you would consider the middle of this Orthodox church. And there is kind of a pillar type structure, a square pillar that has a cloth placed above kind of the top, say, third to a half of it. It's by itself right in the middle of the room. And he kind of, he motions you, and he's like, "Stay." And he walks behind it, and you see him kind of starting to kind of kneel down, and you hear the click of something, and it almost sounds like a metal grate opening, or a metal like door opening. And then he stands back up, and he holds out his hand, and he's like, "Crystal."
Where is person we're looking for? The
Ileana?
Uliana, yeah,
With crystal she comes, when crystal.
Okay. I'll give him the crystal.
So he takes it, and again, he kind of goes behind and it's not like big by any means. This pillar thing in the middle of the room, and you hear him kind of like, and you hear a click come into place, and then it sounds like the door closes, and you start hearing a hum coming from this big this pillar, like from the top, and then he takes off the cloth, and you see a head in a glass case.
God, no.
And it's the head of an old Russian woman that looks severed. And from your vantage point, this is the picture is kind of more of a lower vantage point, so that's probably what Electo sees. But
Yep.
other people standing a little bit higher than that can kind of see down. There seems to be like glass tubes and stuff that are kind of connecting her neck to this case, and her eyes suddenly pop open, and the pupils kind of look around crazily, and then they roll, and she kind of looks at each of you in turn, and her eyes roll in the back of her head, and you notice that the person that had brought you in and had put the crystal inside of this contraption thing, he actually pulls up a thing with a paper, and he has a pencil in his hand, and this head, it goes, yeah, 8, точка, 3, 2, 10, 0, 7, and he's like writing down, and then she goes, 4, 9, точка, 6, 8, 7, 3, 2, and then her eyes kind of close again, and the machine seems to kind of settle down, and the man who wrote the numbers, or wrote the thing down, he gives you the paper that he wrote on. Sorry.
In French for
And
Locutus, this is an
he
abomination.
says,
I think
And
I've seen one of these before
he
at the
says,
carnival.
Госпожа Uliana has spoken.
These not words, these numbers.
Yes, she spoke numbers.
Latitudes and longitudes?
What does numbers mean?
Look
She
at the
spoke
numbers.
them for you. I do not interpret. I just give what she says.
Look
It
at the
is what you need.
Yeah, it definitely looks like longitude and latitude.
Yeah, Lecto has no idea what those are.
so. I mean, I
Yeah.
I can make a scholar roll if you'd like. I'm just going to input this into my cell phone and see if I can ping the GPS now. So
Right. So it does come up as a small town, or what once was a small town in Russia, really close to the city of Krov, a town called Berezhna. And it kind of, Berezhna. And it is like I said, it's a small town close to, but still south of Krov, which is a city that is within the blasted land, but it is kind of trying to pull itself up out of it, and it is where some of the Igrit are played, the games, the Russian game shows that are kind of similar to the Running Man and things like that, where the game shows are quite deadly as well as entertaining.
Well, I guess we have a place to go.
Do
Do you think Monsieur Gruber knows about the head?
do you know of a place around here that might have a vehicle?
We're in Tharkold. We can just go and take a vehicle.
Yeah, you don't buy vehicle in Tharkle.
So what I would need for a vehicle is to roll a hard difficulty. Now you're going to come up with a vehicle, but depending on what you roll,
Do we want
What
to find?
skill?
it would be streetwise. And since it will take a little while because there is so much just debris and broken stuff to find something in working condition, but since you didn't fight or get mad at the people in the Orthodox Church, and you actually didn't fight the guy Liev at the chop shop, you can get a +2 to it.
By the way, Alex would ask the people of the Orthodox Church, is there anything else that y'all need here?
She needs a pate.
Well, unfortunately, I cannot grant that.
Well, the old man can.
No, possibly.
But as far as looking for the vehicle, I believe maybe Electo might have the best chance for that.
Perhaps.
I mean, the mountain is favored in.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, okay.
He's wealthy, but that's.
That's for initial, isn't it? That's for initial acquisitions, not finding it while we're in the.
Well,
no,
if it's-
no. Wealthy lets me requisition stuff very easily.
Yeah, if it were quote unquote requisitioning, it doesn't have to be.
It lets me be favored in streetwise when trying to buy stuff from people when I'm when trying to actually get something from someone instead of requisitioning it from the Delphi Council.
Okay. All I know is Streetwise requires charisma, and
Oh, I don't have charisma, but I'm favored.
it's better than
Yeah.
that's better than just a 5 and not trained. So yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I'm 5 and I'm not trained, but I'm favored. So
Right. I'm an 8 and not trained, so the 5 and not trained with favored might be better off. So I will try to assist the mountain.
Yeah, it just says when trying to purchase an item or service. So I would say that would work.
Okay.
Lehman, I just want, the
Yes.
reason I was asking them if they needed anything is I was going to use bounty to increase their food supply.
Ah, okay.
And before the mountain goes and looks for anything, I will increase your charisma.
that's not going to be very hard.
Oh well, I mean, we'll figure it out. Here we go.
It'd be easier than easy.
Hell, that's then. Apparently, I've got an outstanding. So I got a 19 for you.
You do.
So you're. No, I don't want to roll it again. I just wanted to read it. You get a +3 to your charisma for three rounds or 30 seconds, however we end up doing it on here.
Right. And I'm going to get this pretty fast. I'm basically going to be like, that's a nice car you have there. I'm going to take it. And they're going to be like, no, you're not. And I'm like, listen, I have a sword and you don't. I'm taking your car.
All right. Well, I will try to assist you, Michael John.
And it's Darkhold, so that's kind of how bartering works.
But clearly, I don't like your way of asking for a car. So
Well, I'm not really asking for the car.
right. See, that was the problem. I wanted you to ask, and you're just demanding.
I got a 12. isn't terrible.
But you got a +2, so you actually got the 14.
I do get a 14. You're right. I forgot to add that. I could make it better. I could make it a 17, but I'm not sure what the DN is.
I think it depends upon what kind of vehicle we end up getting. Do you want the Volkswagen that barely runs, or do you want the?
Well, he
Mazda.
got the one that is a decent one. I'm not sure exactly what this thing is, a Gaz Tiger Transport, but that's better than a Kamaz truck.
Let's take the transport.
I do like APCs. I don't think it's an APC, but I mean, if it's a carrier or transport, it might be. Especially in grocery, they just let these things lie or wherever.
They kind of look like Humvees, like the Soviet versions of a Humvee.
Right, and I get that on a 14.
Yeah.
If I do better, maybe we can get a tank. But we don't need a tank.
I think you do good.
Yeah, I like our little Soviet APC. It works. It gets the job done.
So let's go ahead and we're switching scenes. So you can go up to 4 cards because nobody's above 4 cards. And then once everybody is at 4 cards, if you wish to, you can discard a card and draw a new one.
Does anybody want a Maelstrom?
Not particularly, no.
That's why I'm getting rid of it. So that's why I asked before.
I've played it one time before and I took 4 wounds.
It's really good if played precisely when it's needed. Otherwise, it hurts the party more than it hurts the villains.
Do you really ever want it to be needed?
Right. Yeah, that too. I was gonna say 90% of the time it's bad for you. It's just that 10% that it's really awesome.
Jeez,
right. And if you need it, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it on a Gospog of the 5th Planning, and then it was like, yep, well, I'm still going to hit you a bunch. And I missed it, and it took 4 wounds, and it was unpleasant. Character was fine, because he has 5.
Okay, so...
But almost not.
I've got my new card, Michael John. There you go.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Michael John didn't like his new card very much.
Not really, no. I got a coup de grace.
Only you wouldn't want that card right now.
A lot of my characters don't really use them. If I'm playing someone who's going to hit stuff hard, I am usually doing quite a bit of damage. I feel like I would much rather have a drama or a flurry or even a plan B or C. But it comes in useful sometimes.
Video. Move some of these conditions up here. So as you make your way with the Tiger Transport, which is much more comfortable than the truck would be.
Let's get a little more room in here.
And it
look,
goes through the snow
standard
quite a bit better than what the truck would have been. And you make your way kind of north-ish, and you cross over into the actual blasted lands. So you hit a spot of like radiation, but it wasn't quite full-on blasted lands. Blasted lands doesn't mean that everything there is radiation all the time. It's just that there's a distinct change. And this is an area that is bound by stele. When the Maelstrom Bridge first hit and then was nuked, the pretty much the whole section of the blasted lands, except for a very small part around Moscow, was outside of Stele. It was a core Earth Tharkold mix zone. But once Crenad was killed and the three dukes went off and just started planting Stele like there was no tomorrow, they started taking over places of the blasted lands and kind of switched them over to dominant, but they still had that radiation. So there's lots of different types of zones within Darkhold. It's not just mixed, dominant, and pure. You have the variety in the blasted lands and the variety outside of it. And when you cross over into the blasted lands, there is kind of a uh, visual what do I want to say, effect that kind of goes on. Your skin tones start getting a little more grayish, and things kind of have a blue hue to them, and it's just kind of a little unsettling. And you kind of get a feeling, kind of look at your allies in the Tiger transport as you're going, and just everybody kind of looks just a little uncomfortable because it's a effect going on that you're not used to. It's not something that you encounter.
My skin's not supposed to be this color.
Pull the radiation badge out of the survival kit and put it on.
Is that the one that like changes if you're in a radiation spot?
Yeah, the more dosing you get, it starts to change.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't change, but you kind of have it out there so you can look at it, and every once in a while you kind of pat it or you kind of look down and make sure it hasn't changed quite often at the beginning.
Right.
I was saying, no one has the urge to wear football pads and a hockey mask, right?
Not yet. Give it a scene.
Different characters.
So you kind of have your GPS going, trying to stick to the roads because it is going through winter in Russia, and luckily you got the vehicle that probably has decent heating in it, so I won't make anybody roll any environmental checks. So that is a good thing that you got that vehicle instead of the other. And you kind of go along these hilly roads in this rural area, and you start getting really close to those coordinates, and you kind of up ahead in the what you first think is kind of like a hill, you then realize that it's not. It is a bus that is laying on its side in the middle of the highway that looks to be burned, as well as having snow piled upon it.
Look around to see if there's anything out of the ordinary to the sides of it.
Okay, roll a find for me.
Will do.
And it looks like it's pretty much completely blocking the road. Like
Yeah,
you wouldn't
it's
really...
a bus.
Yeah, I was going to try to look at things too.
Okay.
Is blown up bus seen before?
Yeah, no.
Is a bus.
It's a bus.
There is something in the road. That's all I can tell you.
He did autobus.
And you say it's pretty close to where we're supposed to be going?
Yeah, it seems like you were getting really close to the coordinates, and you see this bus, and just based off of the GPS track device, you put like location, get me here, and it wasn't perfect because it doesn't know all the back roads or something, but it looks like that bus is the coordinates.
Oh, well, all right then.
Did you pick the fastest route, the shortest route, or no highways?
He avoided tolls.
Well, the psychic led us here, and we're supposed to find the Saver Company.
No.
Maybe this is where they were attacked.
Well, we're supposed to find the information that they had gotten at the safe house that they had set up.
Yes.
Finding it.
Well, let's go on up and look at this bus.
Yeah, the mountain will approach the bus.
Okay, so you
just in case.
you park the transport and you hop out into the snow. It isn't snowing now, but you do get pretty much shin deep in the snow.
Can somebody hold my head above the level of the snow then?
You might be light enough to just like walk on it, like Legolas and the.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, I just see him like a little corgi jumping through this. No thanks.
So you get kind of closer, and you notice some. You notice a body that is mostly buried under the snow before you actually get to the bus.
Are there tracks around the body? Like, are there tracks on this snow? Because I know it's freshly sort of snowing, you said. So is there anything that we can see on the ground around the bus?
Go ahead and give me a difficulty 12 find.
Well, I've been doing so good with Find the Night.
Boom.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Look at you two.
Wow.
I was like, the rest of the party's just like, nope, we don't have to go further.
Yep.
So you kind of look around, you kind of notice the body, look around, and you do spot tracks. And with the 20 and the 24, they look like similar to dog or canine tracks. And you also notice on the sides of both of the tracks are kind of streaks, like something was dragging on both sides of these tracks.
Does not sound familiar to me. Maybe boy.
I heard of these things. These is like dog sled.
Oh.
No.
And I thought I heard you say that there was also a body.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll share the
Look at the
information.
body.
Yeah, the mountain will approach the body and extend the shield to Alex because he can give him the shield bonus just in case.
You
Let's dig out the body from the snow because it was buried.
right. You kind of push off some of the snow, and it is what appears to be a partially eaten person. And you notice pointy ears.
I think we found one of the people.
Saver. Yeah.
Does he have
And
any?
with
Sorry, go ahead.
that, let's see if I
Is there any identification on the body? Something we can.
no, there is not. But what was that? DN. Just give me a standard evidence analysis.
All right. As an 18.
Okay. With that, the clothes that are still kind of there, and the feature, they match the description of the elvish wizard that was part of Saber Company. The started with an L. Trying to Lyriand. Yeah, Lyriand.
Take a picture of the face so that we can prove that yes, this person's dead.
We'll just
And then say a prayer.
Also, check the pockets to make sure that there's no, data or information that would be important.
yeah, I'll do that. And like I said, I'll check for anything that might have a. I'll check for anything that might have some sort of indication of who he was to say take back with us as proof of because we can't actually take the body back with us.
Right.
Unless it rises up and attacks us. Oh wait.
And this isn't D&D, and we're not in the Isle, so we can't take a chunk of him. We can take him and have him resurrected. So
I think he's been dead for more than 3 days.
Give him a little red tint to show that he's been dead.
Because they all the Saber team went missing over 5 days ago.
oh yeah. So we see the sled marks going away from the bus, but do we have any way of looking? Well, the bus has been burnt out, right?
The bus has been burned and some snow piled on it.
Okay, so it burned out enough to where it's been all covered with the.
Yeah, we should still probably check in there to make sure there's nothing else inside the bus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other bodies or any strong box that might have been left in there that might have survived a fire?
Okay, so what I'll need is give me. This one is more important. I'll just say that. So this one is like the other ones. I haven't told you these are important. If I say they're important, it usually means you get something very different from standard, good, and outstanding type thing. If I just say roll against it, it's usually just the
Okay, so
either you get something or not.
So this is a
So
find.
this I need a tracking or
Tracking.
mind.
Okay. All right, rolling that now. 16. I need higher than that.
That would be a good success.
And how close are we
It's
to
a
an
standard
outstanding?
10.
I was gonna say, how good are we to an outstanding?
So that's 4 away. So you'd need.
Well, I can give you a supporter.
Yeah, because all I have is adrenalines, and that's a mind check. So support is all I'm gonna use.
Okay. Does anyone else have a supporter?
Well, I was going to say is, hey, I've got a hero card. You can use a hero card on it as a possibility. See what we get, and then do the supporter.
Yeah, I have 3 possibilities still. I guess I can use one of them.
I've got a bunch in my hand, so I just save the possibility and use the hero card.
Okay, so what do you want? I got a master plan, season initiative, and 2 adrenalines.
Give me adrenaline.
All right. There you go.
And I dropped the hero card on the mat.
So there's a hero card.
I see it.
17 was the last roll. 21.
There you go. Okay, so as you're kind of, you're looking at tracks that look like some type of canine, you found a body that you have pretty much identified as the elven wizard who was part of Saber Company. And as you kind of look kind of further out, you kind of concentrated, and then you start looking further out. You see other vehicle tracks, and it looks like there was multiple vehicles. And with your 21, you actually kind of pinpoint it. You can sort of tell by knowing what type of vehicles are in the area, size of tires, size or pressure into the snow and the ground. So basically, you get that there were probably 4 vehicles total. 2 of them look like motorcycles. One of them seems to appear to be either a small car or some type of buggy, and then one much bigger that wasn't this bus, but it was either some type of bus or semi truck.
All right.
You also noticed that there were like footprints out there. And then it seems the way that they were, like just footprints, and then kind of, what I want to say, dragged people prints, that it seems to be at least 4 people were dragged from the bus there that you see in front of you, and at least one of them with the tracks was bleeding. You kind of get that between layers of snow as you kind of go over there and examine it, because there has been some snowfall since this occurred.
And I will pass that information to the rest of the group.
And the other couple of things that you notice is, just by, it took you some travel time to get here and to kind of know what the weather was like, the body having been eaten part of. It probably happened 3 to 4 days ago.
So we know that the other 4 were alive at least that time period. One may not be now, at least. And we don't know the condition of the rest. But at the time of this attack, we know that 4 of them were alive or drug off.
And then as you kind of look closer again at the bus itself, and kind of wipe off some of the snow, you see that the bus was riddled with bullet holes. Most of the windows seem to be shattered or shot through. One of the windows that's been shattered, you see noticeable blood on some of the edges of the glass. It apparently did not have safety glass. And the inside looks pretty torn apart. The bus is on its side, and the door to let people in the bus is facing up. So you kind of, because I remember somebody mentioned, going and looking inside the bus and seeing if there is anything in there.
Yeah,
And
I mentioned it. Yep.
okay, so you could probably walk right through one, or easily get through one of the busted windows in the back, and then inside, it looks like a bunch of equipment was, like, if there was much in this bus, which it had a team of Storm Knights, so there could have been, there isn't much left. But you do see that there is a destroyed interactive map, which is a Tharkle type device, that it's kind of a tablet sized map that you can quickly coordinate notes, and you can actually pass data back and forth. And they're usually secure. When information passing back and forth is a little more secure, and they're usually ruggedized. But this one appears to have been smashed. And there's also a strange canister that, like, the part of it, the end caps are metal, and there's some type of glass or plexiglass around it, and it's a cylinder canister, but there is a shattered hole in the side of the plexiglass, and kind of coming out of it is a very bright neon green sludge that has kind of just pooled in the bottom of most but not all of the bus, and it does not look like it is naturally occurring by any means. You just you also being from living land, Keefe, you completely understand that this is not just some natural stuff that was put in this canister.
Be careful, you'll turn into a turtle.
Yeah, I definitely don't get anywhere. Try to make sure I don't get it to touch me or anything like that. So.
And then I was gonna say you hear the sound of a wolf howling.
Uh,
And I was looking at time. It's, I think, almost 10:30 there, 9:30
Yes,
here,
about 10:30.
which is usually when I would need to go. So I think this might be a good spot to end the session
yep.
instead
Agreed.
of getting
Alright.
into a fight. So you hear a wolf after you have discovered.
Of
So,
the goo.
Yeah, the goo.
so yes, after we've found the goo and we heard a wolf cry, we are going to pick this back up next Wednesday, same time, 7 o'clock Eastern time for those who are watching us. I'm sure that Mike will put a nice little Torganized Tuesday message up on the Facebook page. So,
I will next Tuesday because Texas weather.
well, I mean, next Tuesday we've actually got something to put in it other than.
Well, that's true. Yes. Otherwise, hey.
Yeah. So, thank you for
Recap.
joining us. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Don't forget to check with us Friday for our Rhyme of the Frost Maiden and Sunday for more of our Dungeons with Veterans. And then we'll be back Monday for A Curse of Strahd with Rod as the Dungeon Master. So thanks again. And as always, remember we're in this adventure called Life Together. So remember the golden rule. Treat those around you the way you'd like to be treated yourself. And with that, have a good week.